Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. Again, today we have with us an art of living expert and an officer of the Vedic Dharma Sansthan. So today we'll be discussing about the Mahaganapati homam, which is usually performed at the Pratapa temple in Gurukul, Shri Gurukul of Art of Living International Center in Bengaluru Ashram. So let's begin. So could you explain the significance of performing the Mahaganapati homam at the Pratapa temple this year? Yes, Jai Gurudev, the Mahaganapati Homam at the Pratapa Ganapati temple was a sacred offering to Lord Ganesha, who removes obstacles and grants wisdom. Performing it at the Sri Gurukul in the presence of Gurudev deepened the spiritual vibrations and made the experience transformative for all. This year's Homam was especially significant because it coincided with the beginning of Gurukul's new academic cycle, symbolizing the invocation of divine blessings for learning and knowledge. The atmosphere was charged with devotion, chanting, and positive energy, aligning perfectly with the purpose of Lord Ganesha as Vignaharta, the remover of obstacles for students and seekers alike. Now, from the perspective of Vedic Dharma Sanstana, what is the traditional and scriptural foundation of Mahaganapati Homam? Yes, the Mahaganapati Homam is deeply rooted in the Vedic scriptures and agamas described in texts such as the Ganapati Atharva Shirsha and Ganapati Upanishad. It invokes a supreme form of Ganesha Mahaganapati who is worshipped with 16 offerings or Sodashpachara. Traditionally, this homam is performed to remove karmic obstacles, ensure success in new ventures, and bless the community with health, prosperity, and knowledge. At the Pratapa Ganapati temple, the ritual follows strict Vedic injunctions with the sacred mantras, Ganapati Gayatri, and offerings into the sacred fire in presence of Gurudev. The ritual became not just a Vedic act but a universal prayer for humanity's well-being. Now, how did Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Jesus' presence enhance the experience of the Somam? Yes, Gurudev's presence itself is a blessing that magnifies the effect of any ritual. During the Mahaganapati Homam, as the priest chanted powerful mantras, Gurudev's silent presence uplifted the collective consciousness. Many participants felt a wave of inner calm, devotion, and joy. Gurudev often reminds us that rituals are not mere mechanical acts, but vehicles to elevate our mind and spirit. With him sitting in the homam, the seekers felt directly connected to the divine energy of Lord Ganesha. His grace ensured that the sankalpas or resolutions taken during the homam resonated deeply, blessing both individuals and the larger world community. Now, could you describe the step by step rituals of the Mahaganapati Homam performed at the temple? Yes, the Homam began with Ganapati Dhyanam, invoking Lord Ganesha through meditation and mantra chanting. It was followed by Punya Ahavachanam, purification of space, and Kalashthapana or installation of sacred pots symbolizing divine energies. The priest then performed Ganapati Moola Mantra Japa and offered Durva grass, modaks, and 21 types of dravyas into the fire. The central ritual was the ahuti of sacred herbs, clarified butter, and samidas while chanting the Ganapati Atharva Shirsha. The homam concluded with Mahamangal Arati, Purnahuti, and Prasadam distribution. Each step was meticulously performed, ensuring both scriptural precision and devotional depth, making the event powerful and spiritually uplifting for all attendees. Now, how do art of living practices like Sudarshan Kriya and meditation complement such Vedic rituals? Yes, art of living practices prepare the mind and body to receive the subtle benefits of Vedic rituals like Mahaganapati Humam. Sudarshan Kriya cleanses emotional and mental blocks, while meditation creates inner silence and receptivity. When participants engage in the Humam after such practices, they feel the mantras' vibrations more deeply, not merely at the intellectual level, but as direct experiential energy. Gurudev often says rituals uplift the spirit and practices sustain it. Thus, together they form a holistic path. Rituals invoke divine blessings externally, and practices nurture inner transformation, making seekers more joyful, resilient, and deeply connected to the divine. Now, what was the atmosphere like during the Humam at the Gurukul? The atmosphere was truly divine and electrifying. The Pratapa temple, decorated with flowers, lamps, and sacred symbols, created a vibrant setting. The rhythmic chanting of mantras by Vedic scholars reverberated across the hall, while the sacred fire radiated warmth and divine energy. Devotees sat in silence, some with eyes closed in meditation, others chanting along with the priest. The presence of Gurudev filled the space with serenity, And this, even young students of the Gurukul participated actively, learning the significance of Vedic rituals. The collective devotion created an aura where time seemed to stand still, enveloped in pure spiritual vibrations. Now, what are the benefits of Mahaganapati Homam for individuals and society at large? On an individual level, the Mahaganapati Homam removes mental, emotional, and material obstacles, bringing clarity of thought, peace, and prosperity. It blesses students with their concentration, families with harmony, and professionals with success. On a societal level, it creates collective positive energy, reducing negativity and conflicts while inviting abundance and well being for the community. The Homam at Gurukul was not just for personal gain, but as a prayer for global peace, environmental balance, and humanity's upliftment. Gurudev reminds us that when rituals are performed with pure intention, they radiate positive vibrations across the planet, benefiting even those not physically present. Now, how do you see the continuity of such traditions in a modern Gurukul setting? The Sri Sri Gurukul is a shining example of blending ancient Vedic traditions with the modern education. Rituals like Mahaganapati Homam ensure that students remain rooted in their spiritual heritage while advancing in contemporary learning. By participating in such homas, they experience the depth of Vedic wisdom beyond textbooks through sound, fire, devotion, and energy. This continuity preserves Sanatana Dharma in its authentic form while making it relevant to today's youth. Gurudev's vision is to ensure that the next generation not only excels academically but also remains grounded in values, culture, and spirituality, thus shaping holistic leaders for the future. Now, what is the symbolic meaning of the offerings like modaks, durva grass, and ghee in the Mahaganapati Homam? Every offering in the Mahaganapati Homam carries a profound symbolic meaning. Modaks represent the sweetness of knowledge and the reward of spiritual pursuit. Durva grass symbolizes humility, simplicity, and resilience. It grows easily, reminding us of endurance and purity. Ghee is clarity and light when offered into the sacred fire. It nourishes the flame, symbolizing illumination of wisdom. The fire itself represents divine consciousness that consumes our negativity and transforms it into pure energy. Thus, every ahuti is not just a ritual act but a spiritual reminder of surrendering ego, ignorance, and desires, inviting divine wisdom, clarity, and blessings into life. Did Gurudev share any wisdom or message during or after the Homam? Yes, Gurudev shared beautiful insights after the Homam. He reminded everyone that Lord Ganesha represents the balance of strength and wisdom, devotion and discrimination. Gurudev emphasized that rituals are not for blind belief but to awaken subtle energies within us. He said, when the mind is free of obstacles, creativity blossoms. This is the blessing of Ganapati. He also encouraged everyone to combine daily sadhana, seva, and satsang with rituals so that spiritual experiences are sustained. Gurudev's word touched everyone deeply, making them realize that Mahaganapati Homam is not only an external ritual but also an inner transformation. Now, from a Vedic perspective, how does the chanting of Ganapati Atharva Shirsha influence the environment? Is the Ganapati Atharva Shirsha is a powerful Vedic hymn that identifies Ganesha as Brahman itself, the ultimate reality. Chanting it during the Homam generates high frequency vibrations that cleanse the environment of negativity. The sound waves harmonize the energy fields, creating a space of peace, focus, and positivity. Traditionally, it is said that reciting this hymn before any new venture ensures success and prosperity. At Pratapa Ganapati temple, when hundreds chanted together, the vibrations amplified manifold, purifying not only the temple space but also uplifting the minds of participants, giving them a tangible sense of lightness, joy, and spiritual connection with the divine. Now, how do you connect the scientific aspects of fire rituals with modern well being? From a scientific viewpoint, fire rituals like homams have measurable effects. The herbs, ghee, and samidas, when offered into the fire, release medicinal vapors with antibacterial and purifying qualities. The rhythmic chanting of mantras produces sound vibrations that influence brainwave patterns, leading to calmness and focus. The collective intention set during the homam aligns group consciousness, reducing stress and anxiety. At the Gurukul, many participants reported improved clarity and inner peace after the homam. Gurudev often says science and spirituality are two sides of the same coin, and rituals like the Mahaganapati Homam beautifully bridge both, benefiting body, mind, and spirit. Now, what role did the young students of Sri Sri Gurukul play in the Homam? The young Vedic scholars of Sri Sri Gurukul played a central role in the Mahaganapati Homam. They chanted mantras, assisted in preparing offerings, and learned the nuances of Vedic rituals under senior acharyas' guidance. Their presence symbolizes a continuity of tradition, ensuring the sacred knowledge is carried forward. Many students expressed how honored they felt to participate in a homam conducted in Gurudev's presence. By engaging directly, they not only preserve the sanctity of the ritual but also experience the joy of seva and spiritual connection. It was an inspiring sight, future custodians of Sanatan Dharma actively learning and serving. Were there any personal experiences from participants that stood out during this homam? Yes, many participants shared touching experiences. Some felt an immense sense of peace and release of long held worries, as if Lord Ganesha truly removed their inner obstacles. Others experienced deep meditative states, saying the fire and chants transported them beyond ordinary awareness. A few devotees witnessed years of devotion flowing naturally without any reason. Many students of the Gurukul reported heightened focus and joy after participating. What stood out most was a collective feeling. People from diverse cultures and countries sat together, united in devotion. Everyone felt part of a larger spiritual family, blessed by Gurudev and Lord Ganesha. So, in your view, how does Mahaganapati Home at the Gurukul set an example for the world? Yes, the Mahaganapati Home at Gurukul exemplifies how ancient wisdom can be integrated meaningfully into modern life at a time when people worldwide face stress, uncertainty, and disconnection. Rituals like these provide grounding, healing, and spiritual unity. By performing it in Gurudev's presence, the art of living showed how sacred traditions can transcend geographical, cultural, and generational boundaries. Participants from across the world experience the power of Vedic rituals firsthand. This sets an example. Rituals are not outdated customs but timeless practices that heal both individuals and societies, creating harmony, prosperity, and collective well being on a global scale. Now, the what role did music, bhajans, and chanting play during the Mahaganapati Homam? Yes, Jaguru, the music and chanting played a vital role in uplifting the collective energy during the Homam. As the priest recited mantras, devotees sang soulful Ganapati bhajans and stotras like Vakratunda Mahakaya. The sound of Nidangam, conch, and bells created a divine resonance that complemented the sacred fire. Bhajans prepared participants' minds, making them receptive to the vibrations of the mantras. Gurudev often says music is food for the soul, and during the homam, music transformed the environment into a living temple of joy. Many participants shared that the bhajans carried them into deep meditation and profound states of devotion. Now, could you tell us about the architectural and spiritual importance of the Pratapa Ganapati temple itself? Yes, the Pratapa Ganapati temple at the Sri Sri Gurukul is built in traditional South Indian style, reflecting agamic architectural principles. Every element from the sanctum sanctorium to the kalasha atop the temple aligns with the sacred geometry to channel divine energy. The temple enshrines a majestic idol of Lord Ganapati, carved with symbolic precision, radiating strength and benevolence. Architecturally, it is not just a building but a living energy center, a design for rituals like the Mahaganapati Homam. Spiritually, it stands as a beacon of Dharma where ancient Vedic rituals and practices are preserved and passed on to future generations. It is both a temple and a Gurukul classroom. Now, how do such rituals connect with the Art of Living's global peace initiatives? The Art of Living has always believed that inner peace is the foundation of outer peace. Rituals like Mahaganapati Homam are not just local events but universal prayers for global harmony. The powerful vibrations created during the Homam radiate peace into the environment, reducing unrest and negativity. Gurudev often travels worldwide promoting interfaith harmony, meditation, and stress relief. The same energy is anchored here through Vedic rituals. By blending spiritual practices with humanitarian service, the Homam becomes part of the larger mission to create a violence free, stress free society. Thus, rituals complement global initiatives, providing spiritual strength for lasting peace. Now, could you elaborate on the deeper esoteric meaning of the Mahaganapati? Mahaganapati is considered the supreme form of Lord Ganesha beyond the remover of obstacles. Esoterically, he represents the union of wisdom or jnana and action or karma and devotion or bhakti. His large head symbolizes expansive knowledge, his trunk adaptability, and his single trunk the ability to retain wisdom while discarding ignorance. In Tantric tradition, Mahaganapati is seen as the primordial sound Om embodied. Thus, worshipping him through Homa means invoking cosmic intelligence itself. At the Pratapa Ganapati, the ritual was not merely about external offerings, but about awakening these qualities within clarity, strength, adaptability, and spiritual awareness in every participant and devotee present. Now, what message would you like devotees and seekers worldwide to take from this Mahaganapati Homam? The core message is that spirituality is not confined to rituals alone, but is about living wisdom in daily life. The Mahaganapati Homam teaches us to remove inner obstacles like fear, doubt, or negativity and step into life with clarity, joy, and purpose. Gurudev often says true success comes when wisdom guides action. Seekers worldwide can take inspiration from this homam to integrate sadhana, seva, and satsang into their lives while honoring traditions. The presence of Gurudev reminded us that with divine blessings and spiritual practice, challenges dissolve and life blossoms with abundance, harmony, and unshakable inner strength. Now, how is the Sankalpa or intention setting significant in the Mahaganapati Homam? The Sankalpa is the heart of any Vedic ritual. In the Mahaganapati Homam, priests and participants set intentions for removal of obstacles, inner purification, and universal well being. The Sankalpa is not a mere wish, it's a sacred alignment of the mind and the divine will. At the Pratapa Ganapati temple, Sankalpas included blessings for students of the Gurukul, prosperity for families, and peace across the globe. In presence of Gurudev, Sankalpa carried even more power as collective consciousness merged with his Sankalpa for humanity. This alignment ensures rituals' energy manifests not only personally but universally, touching countless lives. Now, how does the Mahaganapati Homam inspire youth in today's fast paced world? For youth, life is full of pressures, academics, careers, and constant distractions. The Mahaganapati Homam offers them a chance to pause, reconnect, and experience stillness. Watching their peers at Gurukul chant mantras and serve in rituals inspires them to value discipline and heritage. Gurudev's presence makes them realize spirituality is not outdated but deeply relevant. Many young attendees felt that Homam recharged them, bringing clarity about their goals and dissolving anxieties. It gave them a sense of belonging to something timeless, proving that ancient practices can be powerful tools to navigate the challenges of modern youth with wisdom and balance. Now, what role does seva or self-service play in such large-scale homams? Seva is central to the success of rituals like Mahaganapati Homam, from preparing the temple, arranging offerings, guiding devotees to distributing prasadam. Hundreds of volunteers participated with pure devotion. Seva transforms the ritual into a collective celebration rather than an individual event. In Vedic tradition, Seva is seen as the highest form of worship, equal to the ritual itself. At Gurukul, Seva by devotees created an atmosphere of humility and unity. Gurudev always reminds us Seva purifies the heart. Thus, through Seva, each person became an active contributor to the home's success, receiving blessings of Ganapati in return. Now, how do international devotees perceive such Vedic rituals at the Art of Living ashram? International devotees often find rituals like Mahaganapati Homam both fascinating and transformative. For many, it is their first encounter with Vedic fire ceremonies, and they are deeply moved by the mantras, the energy of the fire, and Gurudev's presence. They often describe the experience as beyond language, a direct connection with the divine. Some say the ritual gives them a profound sense of belonging and peace, while others feel it heals unspoken emotional wounds. At Art of Living, such rituals are made inclusive, explained in simple terms, so seekers from any culture can connect deeply. This universal accessibility is Gurudev's vision. Now, looking ahead, what is the vision for conducting Mahaganapati Homam at Gurukul in the future? The vision is to make a Mahaganapati Homam an annual tradition at the Pratapa Ganapati temple, drawing students, devotees, and seekers from across the world. Each year, the Sankalpa will focus on global needs, environmental balance, youth empowerment, peace initiatives, and cultural preservation. The Gurukula aims to involve more students in leading rituals, ensuring they master both the theory and practice of Vedic heritage. With the Gurudev's blessings, the goal is to expand such rituals to global centers, blending Vedic science with the art of living practices, creating a worldwide ripple of peace, prosperity, and spiritual awakening under the divine grace of Lord Ganesha. Now, how do women participate in the Mahaganapati Homam? And what is their role in such rituals? Yes, Jagoda, women's participation in Mahaganapati Homam is highly significant. Traditionally, women are considered Shakti, the energy that sustains the rituals. At the Pratapa Ganapati temple, women devotees prepared offerings, sang bhajans, and joined in chanting mantras. enriching the homam's vibrational power. Some took part in Kalasha Sthapana and Rangoli decorations, symbolizing auspiciousness. Their devotional singing created an atmosphere of sweetness and inclusion. Gurudev has always emphasized the equal role of women in preserving and transmitting spiritual traditions. Their presence ensures balance where the masculine energy of discipline and the feminine energy of nurturing unite, making the homam a truly holistic and complete offering. Is there an ecological dimension to the Mahaganapati homam performed at the Gurukul? Yes, absolutely. Unlike modern practices that sometimes use synthetic materials, the Mahaganapati homam at Gurukul strictly followed eco-friendly traditions. Only natural herbs, ghee, and organic wood were used. The smoke released from such homums is not harmful but medicinal, purifying the air. Many scientific studies confirm that Vedic fire rituals reduce bacteria and increase oxygen levels in the environment. Moreover, offerings like ghee and herbs nourish subtle energies of the atmosphere. Gurudev often emphasizes environmental responsibility, and this homum reflected it, beautifully demonstrating how spiritual practices can also be sustainable and contribute positively to ecological balance. How is the Mahaganapati Homam connected to other festivals like Ganesh Chaturthi or Navratri? The Mahaganapati Homam is intimately connected with the Ganesh Chaturthi and Navratri. Lord Ganesha is invoked before every major ritual or festival as he symbolizes auspicious beginnings. Performing this Homam at the Gurukul created a spiritual foundation for upcoming festivals, especially Navratri, where multiple Homams are performed. It is believed that invoking Ganesha first ensures the smooth flow of energy for all subsequent rituals. In essence, the Mahaganapati Homam is like sowing seeds of divine grace which later blossom during larger festivals. At Art of Living, this continuity keeps the spiritual calendar vibrant, with rituals interlinked in their deeper significance. Now, what is the significance of fire as a divine witness in this homam? Yes, Sajay, the fire or Agni is considered a divine witness or Sakshi in all Vedic rituals. In the Mahaganapati homam, the fire receives the offerings and carries them to the divine realms. Fire represents purity, transformation, and illumination. It consumes everything and turns it into light and ash, symbolizing ego dissolution. When devotees offer modaks, durva, and ghee, they symbolically surrender desires and impurities to be transformed into wisdom and strength. At Gurukul, the sacred fire was not just a ritual element but a living presence, radiating warmth, brilliance, and blessings. Participants felt as though the divine itself was receiving their prayers directly. Finally, how does Gurudev act as a spiritual bridge for such rituals in a global context? His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji is truly a bridge between ancient Vedic traditions and the modern world. For seekers unfamiliar with rituals, he explains their essence in simple universal terms, making them accessible without diluting their authenticity. For Vedic scholars, he provides global platforms like the Gurukul to preserve and transmit sacred knowledge. During the Mahaganapati Homam, his presence united international devotees and traditional priests in one vibration of devotion. In a world divided by religion and culture, Gurudev shows how rituals are not exclusive but inclusive, universal acts of love, peace, and spiritual awakening for all of humanity. Jai Gurudev.